Good morning. Let's talk about 1065. Are you a business owner? Do you intend to fill up your taxes yourself this year? Is it your first time filling up taxes? How old is your business? Well, if you want to fill it up yourself because you didn't make much of a lot of money during 2019, or you want to save some money, or your business is simple enough that you'll be able to fill it up, yeah, it's fine, it's doable. You just downloaded the form from IRS website, fill it up, print it out, sign it, and just mail it. But you have to have your finances in order to be able to do that. Otherwise, it's just better, if you don't like numbers, it's better you hire an accountant or a CPA to file your business tax for you. But once again, you can do it yourself. But during filing your taxes does not start in January. Yeah, well, it starts in January. But what I mean is you have to be tracking your incomes and expenses all year around. When you do that, you have your finances in order. Is much easier to fill up your tax form because you have those numbers on hand. To fill up your taxes, it's now the time to go look for receipts. You need to have those receipts recorded ahead of time, and I would suggest you track those expenses and incomes every month or throughout the year so that you have everything in order. I'll be doing videos to show how I track my business expenses and income, to just give you an example how you'll be able to do it. If you have an accounting software, it will make things easier for you. But if you are trying to save some money, you are not making a lot at the moment, or you are not generating a lot of incomes in your business at the moment, or you're not spending a lot either, you can track all of that using a spreadsheet. I use spreadsheet for my business, and I don't use any accounting software at the moment. So I will do videos to show how I track those expenses. But today I like to show you how to fill up 1065. And what 1065 is for, that's a business tax return. So if your business is a partnership, or your business is a limited liability corporation, LLC, yeah, then you'll be required to fill up 1065 form at the end of the year. So pretty much, as a business, as an LLC, you don't pay taxes through the business. You fill up that form, but then the tax will flow, or the income, the expenses will flow to the partners in the business, the shareholders, and they are the ones that will report those taxes on their 1040. But as the employer, it is your job to fill up that 1065, and then you will fill up Schedule K and Schedule K1. So Schedule K will have the information that we will use to distribute those income and expenses to Schedule 1s based on every shareholder's percentage of ownership. You'll distribute those information on Schedule 1, and you are required to give those schedules to your shareholders by the end of January, I believe. But I think you are required to send in your 1065 along with Schedule K and Schedule K1s to IRS by March 15 or by mid-March. So you have to check the instructions to see the date for tax year 2019. I will have the form 1065, the instruction 65, Schedule K 1, Schedule K, it will be with Form CC5, but Schedule K1, I'll have that as well on my website. You just go on the left side bar and you look for free download session. You will see tasks from instructions and you click on it and just follow the instruction. It will have a login or sign up form there for you to sign up to confirm your email by returning to your email address, and then go back to the website and click on the free download session again on the task form, and you will be able to access the forms from that session. Otherwise, you can go to irs.gov forms and publications and type in form 1065 instructions 1065 schedule K1. You just tap each one of those, download them to your computer, and you read the instructions and you start filling up your form. So let's get to it. And today what I will show may not work for everybody. This one is related to one of my business that is now already classified as a business by IRS. So this form will work for you if you are in a similar situation. Probably in the future I'll have different type of tutorial to show how to fill up the form for each scenario or each case, but this is going to be very specific for a type of business. And I have a video on how to fill up 1120S. If you are a business and you are treated as an S corp, you will fill up 1020S, but the instructions are just pretty much similar for 10. If you are an S corp, you'll fill up 1120S, but the instructions for that in the video is similar to how you can fill up 1065 for a business as well. But this one is going to be how to fill up 1065 for an investment company. And let's open the form here. When you are filling up 1065 for a business classified by IRS as active, you will do a lot of filling. I'm jumping ahead here, but you do a lot of filling on this page, that is page 1. But if you are filling up 1065 for a business that IRS classify as passive, you won't have information on the page 1. You will be filling up Schedule K. So this video will be more about how to fill up 1065 for an investment company classified as passive, not a business. But once again, if yours is a business, it will be good to see my video on 1120S. That show how to fill up 1120S for a business, and that show how you put information on page 1. And that will just be similar, but the form will be different, 1065, not 1165, but it can just give you the visual of it. But today, for this one, let's talk about investment company. So as you can see, for 1065 for a business that is now classified as a business, if I can see the instructions here, a lot of times, if you download the form from my website, I will have instructions. I will have a highlight, a part of the instruction that I will highlight. So if you go to the instruction, IRS will tell you what your business is classified as. Is it a business? Is it a passive investment income? And I believe they talk about it, but pretty much you will see what they said about limited liability companies in here. So if that's what your company is, you might want to read through that as well. And who might file the partnership form, yeah, I would suggest you read through that too. When to file the form is the third, yeah, is I just highlighted here is, as I said before, May 15. This May 15. And if we go in, you have the option for e-filing. But once again, if you are eligible to e-file or to paper file, I would suggest you just paper file. And I like to paper file my form because here's the thing: IRS requires you keep your tax document for 3 years, and they do the same with paper, yes, it's believed. But with the e-filing system now, they can keep those information indefinitely if they want to, if they choose to. So if you can fill in by filling out paper, I would suggest you do that. And when you come here where to file, you just locate your state and read what category you fall under and choose the address that you need to put on the envelope. And I like to do that right at the beginning. Grab an envelope 9 by 12 manila envelope and just use it and just fill up your form and add it to it. And yeah, 9 to 12 is the one that I use. I can put in the description, the link in the description for those manila envelopes as well. But pretty much choose the state, locate your state, locate what category you fall under, and find the address and put it in the envelope. And you are pretty much, your company is not really going to pay any tax, so that will be the members of it. And here they'll tell you who can sign it. So pretty much you can sign the business, the tax form yourself. And if your business, you are managing it, you created and you are managing it yourself, you are a member, manage LLC, if that's an LLC. But if you hire somebody to manage your LLC, then your business is manager manage LLC. So those are a few technologies to know as well. And here, that's just if you are using cash or accrual methods. So that will determine how you record your expenses. For if you have an expense that you have not paid, if you are using cash method, you shouldn't be reporting it on the form. And they're talking about how you round the numbers here. But pretty much you can go through the forms to see what you need to locate. And right now I'm just trying to see where they classify the business as a business or not. But I'm sure if you have an LLC, you should know that by now, if your business is classified as a business by IRS or not. So pretty much here, generally passive activities include activities that involve the conduct of a trade or a business if the partner does not materially participate in the activity. So if that's a business that you don't participate yourself, then that'll be passive. And I think it's more when they are talking about, let me see what they say here, passive activities limitations. So that's something that is kind of good to read as well. But it'll just show you how the partners are classified, and that'll just help you to fill up your K1 or K, yeah. But you need to find out first how your business is classified. Activities that are not passive activities, and trade or business activities. And for my category, for my business, I'm now a trade. I'm more an investment portfolio, and I believe they have a section for that as well. And that's here, portfolio income. So portfolio income include all gross income other than income derived from in the ordinary course of a trade or business that is attributable to interest. So interest, dividend, royalty, income from real estate, investment trust, a regulated investment company, a real estate mortgage investment conduct, a common trust fund, a controlled foreign corporation, a qualified enlightened fund, or a cooperative. So you just read it through it to see what that is about. So now let's get back to our form. As you can see here, make sure you have your principal business activity here, the business code, that's the business name, your address, your city, state, the date the business started. You'll put it here, the date you file with the state, pretty much. And don't forget your employee identification number. And pretty much you don't need to fill up the total asset here if your income is within a certain limit. You will know it, but you don't need to fill it up, but you'll find out more down in the instructions. So you'll come to line G here. Line G, not much to fill up here, but H, you'll choose your accounting method here, and I have cash selected. We have I here for the number of Schedule K1 that will be sent out. And you can see here, that's pretty much it for the top section. And then we come down here for investment income, or for portfolio income, as we selected above. Here, portfolio income, there is not much we are going to put on this page one, income wise, so it's blank. But if you are in a trade or a business classified as active by IRS, yeah, then your classification up here will be different. And like we saw it in the thing, that's why you need to know where what category you fall under. Are you a trade or a business or not? So pretty much a trade, when you read it, you'll see what that involves. Or if you're a portfolio income. So if we go back again, because you're a portfolio income, we don't have anything to put on this income section here. Nothing will go on the deduction section either. But then here, you just put your name, and you'll put your name here. Now, when you print it out, you'll sign it here, and you'll date it. But because one of my businesses is filling up this form for this business, I'm filling up the paid prepared section here. So that's one business serving another business of mine. One business of mine serving another business of mine. So I'm filling up the paid preparer space here. But if you are doing your own taxes, you don't do this part, you don't fill up this part, you just sign it up here and date it. But because one of my business is preparing this tax for this business, so I'm using this section here with my name, the business name, and then when I print out, I will sign it, I'll date it. But yes, for that case, I selected yes for IRS to contact the preparer. Otherwise, if you are just doing it for yourself, you just select no, and you leave this area of pay preparer blank. But if you are doing it for somebody and will get paid, then you need to fill up the pay preparer only section. You will make sure you put your PTN in here, which I didn't put. If you are self-employed, you select that, but this section is not a in my case, it's not a self-employed, it's a business. So I'm not selecting that area. And then you'll put the business identification number here and the phone number down, and then we move down to Schedule B. Schedule B, So pretty much the first part is asking you what type of business you have, and here you can see that as a domestic liability, limited liability company, which is just the LLC. But you have options to choose what is best for your company. But then after that, you read through the narratives here and you select yes or no. And if your business is simple enough, a lot of your answers will fall under no. And when you come down, but make sure you read it though, and when you come down, there will be one area here where you'll have yes. And that's pretty much asking you, does the partnership satisfy all four of the following conditions? So all four. The partnership total receipt for the year were less than $250,000. That's yes. The partnership total asset at the end of the tax year were less than $1 million. The Schedule K1 are filled with the return and furnished to the partners on or before the due date, including extensions for the partnership return. The partnership is now filling and is now required to fill Schedule M3. If yes, the partnership is now required to complete Schedule LM1 and M2. Item F. Don't know if you recall item F on page 1. That's where the total assets goes. And that's the total asset here. I like to calculate it. I just don't know it well. So once you get to that, so if any one of these is yes, in fact not just any but all of those questions, your answer is yes, you are going to give the Schedule K1 to your partners on time, yeah, just select yes. And I think if your business is simple enough, everything else will be no. But it makes sense to read every single one of those questions to properly answer it to best of your knowledge. So you go to that Schedule B all the way down, and once again it'll ask for designation of partnership representative, and that's pretty much who is going to represent your business. And if that's yourself, put your name, your address, your phone number down in this section here. I believe last year they asked for social security, but not this year. And pretty much you have line 26, 27, 28. You might have to put no there as well for 26 and 28. And then we'll move to Schedule K. And that's where your business information, your financial information will go. For investments, business, you will be filling up Schedule K1. Now part 1 of this form, 1065, but Schedule K1. And as you can see here, I didn't have any income to put in, so our original business income is left blank. But if you do, you add it to it. If you have a rental property, it's not what this video is about, but whatever your expenses are, you read through those, you read the instruction to see what each one of those means. If you think you have an expense that might fall under that category, and then you put at the right spot. And interest income, yeah, if you have some interest from the bank, you'll go there as well. Like if you have a saving account for the business, you have interest, it'll go in that line 5 as well. And then you have royalties, you have anything income wise or loss, depending on what type of business you have, will go on this top section. Then we go to deductions type, a deduction section here. And here you have contributions, you have investment interest expense, and under contributions you have BCD, other deductions. And I like to put my expenses under that 13D. But if you read the instructions, you'll see where each one of those are. But D will have all those deductions that you didn't find any spot to put them, because you will see that your deductions just have this area and another area below though. But Yeah, the best area I could put it, depending on the type of expenses that I have, will go here. And they have instructions for the letter you will use. Let me see if they have it on the instructions. You'll find it on Schedule K1 as well. Schedule K1 instructions. But if we move to line 13, contributions, you'll see that they will have different designations for what is going through each one of those line. I'm not seeing W here. Chances are it might be in the descriptions below or somewhere at the end. Okay, so we have 13C, 13. I have 14C here, so that means we pass it somewhere up. Excuse me. So let's go up again a little bit here. 13D, don't know if you see it here, but I'll highlight it. And 13D will include identify the type of deduction. If there is more than one type of deduction, attach a statement to the form that separately identify the type and amount of each deduction for the following category. The code needed for Schedule K1 reporting are provided for each category. So I think the code might be way below, but it will be code W. Let's see. Okay, I think they are talking about code here, code W. And that's this code here. Pretty much you'll read all the different codes and you'll see which one works for the type of expense that you wanted to classify there. And they have different type of code T through U and so forth. But let's take a look at the code W here. That's what I found to be pretty much close to what I wanted to include. So that include well, when you read through it, you will be able to, it has a lot that will go under that category there of code W. But I'm going to show you the expenses that of mine that I put under that. Let's go back to the form again once. So we have this, I put WX, W star asterisk, and then I put the number down here. And to come with this number, I have this K1 that I will send in. And as you can see, that's a form. You'll put your business name, you'll put identification number, and that's pretty much your code here. And this one should be 2019. And as you can see here, I have 13D code W, other deductions, and I have tax lien registration, biannual report, office supply, tax preparation fee, business mileage reimbursed, deductible power. Those total to 259 pretty much. But then I have another code here for box 18. Probably we might talk about it later when we get there. But to come down to this, I have another spreadsheet. This is just a spreadsheet that I use to track those. And I have every K1 that goes along with it, so that I can see the proportion that will be distributed to each employee, to each partner. So let's get back to our form with 259. That's what we put down here, and then we continue. You can see that there is not much involved here with the business that I have, but you might have some other expenses to add it in. But my next entry is for other information for line 18C, non-deductible expense. When you have a business that is not classified as a business, a trade or a business by IRS, you might have a lot of non-deductible expenses. I put it under this category here. And as you can see, that's the number there. And how did I come up with this number? Here, it came from that same spreadsheet that I just opened earlier. And as you can see, that's 3,808. And that's non-deductible expense. That is related to a property held for investment. So we made a repair, we did cleaning and maintenance of the property, we pay utilities. Property tax, mileage that we cannot deduct, but we reimburse the partner. That total to that $3,808. So that is added here, and that's an expense that we cannot deduct, but I'll show it there as well. Now we will come down to analysis of net income. You can see that that's just the line 1 through 11 for K1, and that's that 259 expense that we have. So that's a loss here. You'll put it there, but that has to be distributed between your partners. A lot of time for investment portfolio or for portfolio income, according to the instructions, all the partners are classified as active. And technically I should put the numbers 259 here, but I just did what made more sense to me, because I have some people that are active and some that are not. So I just split it between the two, but that's limited partners, and that's the part that is active and that's the part that is not. And that's pretty much it. Schedule L1 is not required, M1 is not required, M2 is not required based on this business structural model or at the moment. And you just print it out, sign it, and you are ready. But before you do that, you need to now fill up your Schedule K1 with the information you have on Schedule K, and those instructions will be similar as well. So let's open Schedule K1, and I have two types, one for member and other members. So pretty much I will show the difference later, but pretty much when you open Schedule K1, you just leave the top year area blank here. If you are using the regular tax year, January to December, make sure you put your employer identification number, your business name, and the address that you have on the envelope that you are sending it to, make sure you put it here as well. And you put the social security of the partner you are filling this for, and the partner's name and address. A lot of time what I like to do, because I have 5 partners, what I like to do, I like to fill up the information for the business side, save it, and then I will just replace it, and I will just enter the partner's socio and address. That way I have a form that I just pull out with some information already, and I'll just put the other information that I need. So anything that is common for all the partners, I will just save one form with those information, and then I'll just pull it out and fill it for each one of the partners and save it under the name of the partner. So, and as you can see here, you just move down and it's asking you on G here if that's partner, if that's LLC member manage. So this one is for the partners that I don't think they are managing anything. That's why I put some information on K under individual passive. So I domestic partner, yes, but I select LLC partner or LLC or other LLC members, and I selected that for those partners that falls under this category. And because this business has minors as shareholders as well, I don't think I want to classify them as LLC member managed. So instead of selecting here, I select this section for that, and is individual. I have for the beginning and ending, the shareholder ownership for profit, loss, and capital are the same for me. So you made it like that, it'll easier to fill up those things. So, but then when you come down here, you'll have to fill up this L section, which is partner capital account analysis. That's the beginning of the year. That's the capital contributed during the year, and that's the expenses. That's the net or loss expenses during the year, and pretty much that total. If there is no distribution, you have the capital account for the partner in the business, and I can show you how I do that. Don't know if it will be easy to see, but I like to pull out the form, and I showed the form earlier, and that's this form, but this one is more from form 1120S instructions, but that's pretty much the same thing. But the one that comes more with 1065 is a little bit more condensed. Then I'm not sure you'll be able to see much here, but pretty much is asking for their adjust basis at the end of the year. What I like to do is I like to have this part for the business, and I like to have the partner section as well. So you'll put in the stock, pretty much the beginning year, and then you'll put the contributions during the year, and then you'll have the non-deductible that I showed earlier. Let me show you. The non-deductible that I showed earlier is added here, and that does not include capital expenditure, so that won't be added to it. But then here they are asking for some deductions that include capital losses, so I include them here as well, and pretty much that is giving me the adjusted basis in the partnership at the end of the year. And for the next year, for 2020, that will be what will be at the beginning here. The 2019 end year will be the beginning of 2020 year. So that's the way that form works. So it's good to print it out, just fill it up for yourself. I like to use this form as well, and I use it, and I like to just use that so that I can reconcile things. And that comes with form part 3 as well, but that's pretty much the same thing. And if you were to see the ending result there as well, but this form comes with part 3, allowable loss and deduction items. So, but that came from 1120 as instructions. Otherwise, from 1065 you should be able to find the one that I showed earlier. So let's move out of here. But you can see that this number is on my sheet as well. So that's one way of calculating it. Another way of calculating it as well, I believe I should have let's open this journal here. No, the journal does not have it. But yeah, I think for this business, that's the way I calculate it. And I have it here as well. I try to reduplicate if I can find my form. I reduplicate. Let's go down to this schedule M1. I reduplicate this schedule on my spreadsheet. Was it this one? No, that'll be schedule M2 on my spreadsheet, and that helps me track those expenses as well. So as you can see here, I have the beginning balance here. I have the business, and then I have the partner here session. So the beginning of the year, you know, they don't have, for schedule M2, they don't have it split out like this, but that's what works for me. So they have cash capital contributed, which is that, but I have a spreadsheet where I track our capital contribution. So it made it easy for me to just put the number here because I've been tracking it elsewhere as well. But that's that. But if we go back to that schedule M again, you can see they just have beginning of balance of the year, and then they have capital contributed cash and property. But the thing is, because I have something here for the prior year, then that became beginning of the year capital. That's why I have two spot under line 1 for cash and property. That way I can track what is in my bank account, and I can try the value of the property at the beginning of the year. And for capital contributed, that's what we contributed. And as you can see, the total is just the line 1 and line 2. And as we came down, other decreases. What I like to do here, I have sessions at the bottom here, where that came from. I have a part that is deductible, a part that is not deductible, and a part that is just long-term cost that needs to be added to the basis of the property. So those 3 type of expenses are here. And now we have line 6 and 7, and we have balance of the year that is 44,155, or for each partner to be 8,831, which we saw earlier on the form as well. and I just try to calculate the current year increase. Because my schedule 1 is requesting it, I calculate. That's how I like to design my spreadsheets, so that I have the information easy to put on my forms. So you can see this one is just tracking the transactions during the year. So it's taking income during the year minus the expenses during the year that incur during the year, to find that year increases or decreases. So I need that information. As we can go back to our schedule K1, you can see that we have, at the beginning of the year we have that, at the end of the year we have that 8831 here, but we have capital contributed that we talked about earlier. That's just a percentage of this partner. Then we have the current year net. I believe that one is what I talked about last here. That will be this number here. For the partner, that will be 1271. So yes, that went to this session, and as you can see, my total capital ending amount is matching what I have on my spreadsheet and on my paper form as well. And pretty much on line M here, I like to put no, but just fill it up based on your situation. And as we can go up, you can see that here I don't have so that my number will be on line 1. Let's see. And then no. So my number will be on line 13 here. Let's pull our schedule K again. If I have it here, schedule K, you can see that we don't have any number on line 1, so we shouldn't have anything on K1 either, but we have number on line 13D. So line 13D, we have number, so that's what we will use. And then we have number on line 18C. So those are the two things we have to put on schedule K. So you can see that line 13D has this ownership 20% of the cost here with that W stars, which is just the same code as on K, schedule K. And 20 other information I didn't even put it here. And 18 tax exempt income and non-deductible expense, and that's where that will go. Let me see here. This 18C, that's where that will go here.
Kayla is using cool. That's not holes.
So that's how you will fill up this form. And pretty much you are done. You just save it, and you make sure you attach one to what you are sending to IRS, and you give one to your partner, and you put one in your business files for your own record. And once you are done, make sure you mail all your attachment with your form and your schedule 1 to IRS to the right address. Thank you for watching. It's very simple to do it. It will take you a while to read the instructions to understand where your numbers should go But once again, you need to track your expenses to make that possible. It's very important you track all your information throughout the year to make it easy to have all your information on hand, well organized, classified, so that when you need a number, you can easily locate it and just pull it out and put it on the right line for it. And that's how I track my expenses, and I will be showing the video to just to explain how I track my expenses for my businesses throughout the year to make my tax season easy. Thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojuna Marininette Liberman, creators of Marininette Liberman's YouTube channel and owners of Nina Soap. And my website is ninasoap.com.